sometimes he would push my head into the dashboard if we were arguing. And so I felt like he had that potential to kill me.
You're back with us on Ask Dr. Nandina. Today, we've been talking about sexual violence, focusing on sex trafficking and rape. Anyone can be a victim of sexual assault, women, men, or children. Nearly 1 in 5 women and 1 in 71 men in the United States has been raped at some time in their life. And it often happens before the age of 25. When it comes to rape, the majority of the perpetrators are known by the victim, like a classmate, neighbor, or friend. However, many perpetrators turn out to be an acquaintance or a current or former intimate partner. No matter what the relationship is, it is never okay to engage in sexual activity without the person's consent. My next guest was dating a man she met through a friend of hers. During the time they were together, he became abusive, so she moved in an attempt to hide from him. However, one night, he unexpectedly showed up on her doorstep with a gun, and he raped her. Here to share her story is Andrea Calhoun. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Tell me about your relationship even before this assault happened. It was abusive. Tell me about that.
He seemed really nice at first. I was raised in an abusive home, so I honestly thought it was okay. He was really possessive, controlling. We could be arguing over too much salt on a rib or something, and he would hit on me.
Like he would physically hit you?
Yeah, he would physically just backhand me or punch me. Half the time I walked around with a black eye or a lip. I would, go to class. I don't know anything about makeup, but I found out about makeup during that process. So I would just cover it up. My roommates didn't know. One of my roommates are the ones that introduced me to him. I just was just like, oh, okay. I seek love through men because I didn't have that growing up. So I would just take anything. But then one day I was like, I can't do this. I got all my stuff and I left to another city, and somehow he just found me. But they say
Did you tell your roommates where you're going?
Mm-mm.
You didn't tell anybody?
I just left.
Tell me what happened. How did you realize that you had to leave? Because your background was such that you thought this was kind of how everybody lives. What made you realize that this is not how you're supposed to live?
Because he started being a little bit over the top. Like sometimes he would just have a knife and be like, you need to do this. And I was just like scared. I started living every day of my life scared. So one day I was just like, I'm leaving.
So he followed you, and what happened?
One night, my phone kept ringing from an anonymous number. I was just ignore. And then it was about 11 o'clock at night. My roommates were gone, my new roommates. And I opened the door and he was just standing there, and my heart just fell to the floor. Never in a million years I thought he would force himself on me. He was like, we need to talk. And he had his pistol in the other hand. So of course, I'm scared. I stood there, I was like, can you just please leave? And I started screaming at the top of my lungs, and he pushed me. He said, I swear to God, if you do not shut up, I will kill you. And that's when he started doing whatever he needed to do. And then he slapped me because I kept screaming. And then he hit me upside my head with the pistol. And then that time I shut up. I stopped screaming for help. And then he just got up and just left like it was nothing. And I went and hid in the closet. I locked it and I cried myself to sleep. And then the next day I got up and just laid there for a good hour. And then I went and got me something to eat, came back. I made me a little palette and got me a journal in my closet, and I just slept with the light on for like 2 weeks. I didn't go to school. I missed class. I didn't do anything.
You didn't tell anybody about this? Not even, she has a twin sister and she didn't tell anybody about it. Why not?
I didn't want to be judged, and I was scared.
That he would kill them?
Or just anything. I was just terrified. And I didn't want to tell my mom because my mom she freaks out about stuff like that. Granted, we were raised in an abusive home, but I just didn't want to tell her.
What were you afraid of, though?
Being killed. Because that's what he said. He said if I told, he would kill me. And the fact that the way he used to hit on me, yell at me, sometimes he would push my head into the dashboard if we were arguing. And so I felt like he had that potential to kill me. And I didn't want that. So I just didn't say nothing.
For how long?
I honestly didn't say anything to my sister until 1.5 years, and I just told my mom last year.
Last year? Tell me what happened that finally allowed you to speak out, and what did you do with your life?
After 6 months of gaining, 50 to 60 pounds, food was my comfort. That's just what I went to. Big Macs, Shipley Donuts, fried chicken, churches. That's just what I did, and I drank. When I drank, I drank. I would go through, 1 or 2 bottles of vodka a week.
Wow.
And that was my comfort. But after 6 months, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was going in and out the hospital because of chest pains. I was borderline diabetic. I was like, Andrea, is this what you want to do? Because my dream was to be a lawyer, go to school, graduate, have a nice family one day. And I just walked into a gym and said, can someone help me lose this weight? I mean, I was 19, 160 pounds. I'm 4'11", and I knew that I didn't want to live my entire life because I had goals. I had my mind set that I'm gonna be someone, and I didn't want anyone to take that away from me.
Wow. And then, so tell me, you got in that gym, and how did that help you? How did that give you the strength?
We first started with boxing. So, I mean, there's a punching bag. Of course, I pretended like whoever has hurt me, I used that into the punching bag.
If she came and from a victim, she then became a champion. She is an IFBB Pro figure competitor, and you're the 9th best in the world right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What would you like to tell, the reason why we wanted you to come on, and obviously this is a difficult thing for you to do, but to share your story, but what are the folks who are watching at home who are going through the same situation you went through, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them, deal with it when it happens, talk to someone, because if I knew back then that I had the support system that I do now, I feel like some of my life would be different. I don't think I would have jumped in, another 3 abusive relationships. I would also tell them, don't let your past define you. Still go for your dreams, because it will eat you inside if you don't. Anything's possible. Never in a million years I would thought I'd be IFBB Pro. Sometimes God will even put you dreams in your lap. Competing just fell into my lap. I never thought I'd be the 9th best pro in the world. And if y'all want to look at, my pictures and stuff online, you can, because it's all over the internet. I just competed in Vegas last week, and that's where I placed
9th in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would also say is that, what she did was really important, is express her emotions. By journaling, and what she did in the gym, expressed it. You have to release that energy that's locked up inside of you and the pain. Unless you do that, you can't heal, and you healed. Congratulations, you're a true champion and a health hero. Thank you for doing this, I appreciate it. We're about to take a break. Up next, we'll be discussing how one can start the healing process from sexual assault and where they can go for help. Stay with us.
The victim of rape is never to be blamed. The person that should be blamed and take on that self-blame is the perpetrator only.